So, hello everyone. We have Erwin and Agata from Lofoten Planet over here. It's such an amazing and such an honor to have you guys come in here to have a conversation because what I felt about you guys are just two really lovely human beings who have a vision, and that vision, which I have the luxury and the privilege last year in April to fly over to Norway, a remote area in Norway. And really, you guys took time to really take me and my partner Kelly around and show me your home. And thank you for the hospitality. And I'm truly, 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 appreciative and grateful for the connections that we have. And for those actually tuning in into this right now, Agatha and Erwin are, two entrepreneurs that really inspires so many different people in the world. And I look forward to actually share this with everyone. So how are you two doing today?
Hi, hello,
Hello,
hello
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you for having us on this conversation. We are doing pretty well, enjoying Arctic weather, which is really nice this January.
Yeah, it's awesome. For starters, I think let's just figure out like where is Lofoten Island for those who don't know where the place is.
It's northern Norway,
Mhm.
so we used to say that it's above like 300 kilometers above the polar circle, and it's in a kind of remote area, so we feel very privileged to live here.
It's a group of 7 islands up north on the coast. Normally, this spot would be probably very frozen and quite cold, but because of the Gulf Stream that is crossing the Atlantic Ocean from the Mexico Bay, it's warming up the coastline of Norway here in the north. And this is how life is giving us a lot of resources, and this is how life started on the islands a couple thousand years ago. So now we are here with our community, trying to take care of the culture and history, and yeah, doing our projects over here.
When I went there, I felt like I just landed in a land of Vikings. Was it the ancient ancestors? Do the Vikings live there?
Yes, and
Oh,
actually,
okay.
on one of the islands has been one of the largest Viking village discovered in 80s. Now it's a tourist attraction. It's been rebuilt, and now it's cherished, and yeah, it's been quite. And then one of the reasons that Vikings have settled down here are the resources. It's a beautiful combination of nature, the mountains, and the ocean. A lot of fish in the ocean, so they have been really wealthy Vikings living over here.
Yeah. And we've had here like the very famous Lofoten fishery since 1000 years. So it's a really very
1,000 years.
rich culture and yeah, and tradition. So it's still going on actually, and it's pretty authentic. So in the winter time, it's like from January to April, we can still enjoy
Yeah.
rush and fishermen going out on the sea and catching the fish.
Wow, wow. That's so amazing. Yeah, thank you for sharing that because I know you guys travel a lot to many places in the world. And of all places in the world, you two choose to not only settle there to make a home there, but also create your business there. So I'm just wondering, like for you two, like what's the inspiration behind staying there and then running a business there?
Well, it's a unique combination of everything that we are personally inspired by. So, first of all, it's the location of this place. It's, as I mentioned, it's just an Arctic paradise. You have everything here. You have beautiful mountains, pristine ocean waters. You have fjords. You have mountain lakes. So this has been like a backdrop for our adventures and what inspires us personally. And we also saw opportunity that this place is offering in terms of tourism, and as a beautiful location for people to come over. And it's not just like a typical tourist destination. It's like the whole Norway in a pill. You have everything in one place, and also this place is very charged with a good energy because nature is so close. It has such a big impact on everyday life. like starting from the random things like how can I, get from my main door of the house down to the car because it's been, I don't know, a snowstorm or something. So those little things that are just adding on top of this beautiful experience of being here. It's always a bit of a little adventure living here, and this is what is driving us. And settling business is just like creating a vehicle around this lifestyle that we have chosen.
And we are also like very into personal growth, so it's a kind of a force that made us create this place, because whatever we do, it's with the personal growth as a main goal of what we do. So Lofoten Planet was created like in actually 10 years ago already, and we started with retreats around COVID time, and yeah, it's a space to really feel the power of nature here, and also to have a really safe and cozy space to have an inner journey as well. So that's how we started to develop this idea and invite people like you,
Mm-hmm.
like-minded people that we would love to collaborate with and create this powerful experience, which are the retreats. So that was the idea, right?
Yeah. So when you guys arrived at the island for the very first time, what was your first impression? You know, and I was like, right, this is the place. I'm gonna build a home here. I'm gonna build a business. Do you guys had that feeling, that connection right away, or is it just more like it builds over time?
For me, yes, it was a magical connection. It was actually back in 1999, so I was really young, and I came here because I was very interested into the Arctic, and I was
Mm.
studying actually Scandinavian languages and culture. So when I came here for the first time, I always wanted to come to the north and see and feel the power of the nature here. And I'm very outdoorsy person. We are both actually. So these are our passions, like hiking, kayaking, diving, like everything you name it here. So it's a paradise for like outdoor activities. So I've seen like the potential. I just decided that, or not decided, I actually felt that this is the place to be, and I wanted to come back. And that's how I started to look for a job, for education here up in the north. And that's how we met actually here also in the northern Norway at the university 23 years ago, right? Yeah. So yeah, and Erwin also got introduced to Lofoten while being here together, and I wanted to show him also this amazing place in the world, and he completely fell in love like from the first sign. And you can also share your.
Yes, because like from my perspective, I grew up in a place that was close to the mountains, but I was always drawn to the sea and to the coast. So I had, as a kid, I had always this dilemma: where am I going to spend my vacations? Am I going to go to the mountains or going to the sea? And
Now
then,
you have both.
yeah, and then when I arrived here, it's like, wow, this is paradise. You have both. You have everything of what you can wish. So it's been love from the first sight.
Yeah. So love
And
on
that's
the
how
first
we,
sight
yeah.
for each other, and love on the first sight in the island.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of we are really grounded, like we are entrepreneurs, but at the same time, it's been really interesting to observe ourselves and our journey as a couple and as entrepreneurs, because it's some things are just happening naturally. It's like meant to be, and some connections are just even if there are challenges or distances, it's so strong that it's just facing all the challenges and moving forward and growing.
Which is to think that it's kind of a karmic connection that we have, right? Our relationship. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's meant to be long term, and
Yeah.
this is how like what the life here is about. Like, is really to survive in this very tough environment, but also be surrounded by this beauty on everyday operations, and life. Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. Absolutely. Because I asked this question because when I arrived Lofoten for the first time, and just to tell the story, I actually don't really have a lot of time in Europe. but I managed to squeeze a time, and I know you guys were busy as well, and you guys managed to squeeze some time as well, and then the connection was made. And I remember when I arrived there, I was looking at the islands from the top, from the airplane as we were arriving. I was just like, whoa, what is this magical place? And for those of you who have watched How to Train Your Dragon, that cartoon, and I was like, wow, this is exactly what it would look like to have dragons around. And by the way, I love mythology. I love like mysticism, and I love like, being able to, you know, feel the land, and because every land tells a story. And I personally traveled to many places. And for those of you listening to this, I in real honesty, I've never felt this experience when I was there. It's just a completely different vibe, and every land has its own unique expression. Land speaks and expresses differently, like humans meeting different humans, they speak differently. But what Lofoten Island, like you guys were saying, is like it's a paradise, an Arctic paradise, where we get the mountains, you get the river, you get the fjords, you get the sea, you get everything. And I assume that the force of nature there, like you said, right, is all about surviving, because it's really like, winter storms and rains, and I don't know, do you guys get hurricanes and stuff like that, coming
Yeah,
through?
strong winds, definitely.
Right, right. And I can't imagine the cost of maintenance of your properties and things like that. It's survival. Yeah, right. At the same time, it's the big beauty of nature being so close proximity with it. Is almost like a remembrance of the wildness and the freedom that I have not experienced, because I was born as a city boy, right here in KL, in PJ, when I was hanging out with you guys over here. I was born here, and I managed to experience some wildness in Colorado, but that was just mountains and dryness, right? And being here in the island, in Lofoten Island, I just really it sparked this inspiration of like, oh my God, I really love to do a retreat here. And the idea that to be able to have the Northern Lights as well, a guiding point to help us find the compass within us. So I really appreciate that you guys took me a while, even though I did not get to see the Northern Lights at the time that I visit. I just you know I was there for one night, but I'm really really inspired and excited to be able to have this opportunity to be doing this. To me, it's a one of a lifetime retreat with you guys, and in this year.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sounds really great, and we can also say from our observations, experience of people that are coming to Lofoten, there's like we can see two main trends: the people that are just like falling in love, that this place is just drawing them because of the energy, because of the beauty and complexity of the elements, and people that are just visiting and they're like, wow, amazing place, but I would never choose to live here because it's so remote.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we have a
So,
lot of friends around the world that are just like coming over from really remote locations, places like Foz do Iguaçu in Brazil, and they're just coming to to experience Arctic nature and snow and to connect with us. And so we feel like on on some certain level we are connected, and this place is just revealing this connection once people are coming here.
hmm. And you guys shifted, also adding an element, not just going for a retreat, just not just a getaway, but also inviting retreat leaders to host space and retreats, right? Where it's not just, getting to feel nature, but also to take that opportunity as a transformational container. I'm just wondering, like, because you guys have done so many retreats with many people, what are some amazing stories and transformational experiences you guys have witnessed that is really like, wow, this is why we should be doing this even more?
So this is one of the inspirations why we are doing what we're doing, because witnessing the transformation of the people that are coming here and creating the space both in Lofoten Planet but also basically on the islands to take people out of their home environment exactly as far as possible, because just the awareness of being so far away from home does something to to the state of being of the people that are coming here. So if you think like, oh, I'm going to Arctic Norway, but then I'm like my home is in in Malaysia, for instance, then you know that you're so far away that no matter what happens back home, you know that it's so distant at the moment that you have by nature like organically more focus on yourself, and then creating a space together with other people during the group program, connecting with these other people, makes it really powerful and empowering for everybody. And then on top of it, you go out and you face the nature and you reconnect with the nature. You suddenly realize that you're just a particle of something really big, and people get much bigger awareness of the connection with the world. So this as a foundation, we've witnessed transformations on many different levels because it's very personal. Some people are really sometimes struggling with day-to-day personal and professional commitments, which are really random, like having family, sending kids to school, and going to the job and doing the work, and suddenly when they are here, they they um, they gain a completely new perspective what really matters in life, and then they anchor those this new insights and new aha moments into the experience out in nature, and when they go back home they have a different approach, the much bigger resilience. um, they can face the daily challenges in a completely new way.
They kind of like find the courage to really make some very important decisions in their life. That's what we witnessed, right? Like both in business and private life.
So then we are contacted like months or years later, and hey guys, thank you for having us in your space. I just wanted to share that my life changed completely. I set up the new business, or changed the job, or found a new partner, lost some weight. It's like all positive impacts on most of the life areas is happening because people are doing this work with themselves in a space that allows them to really reconnect with themselves.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I definitely experienced that for myself. I mean, not in Lofoten Island, but especially when we get so close to nature, some kind of truth just shows up. The thing that we deny and we distract ourselves with the busyness of life. We actually know our answers and we already have the wisdom, but we're just so distracted. And then until we come to a place like this, right? What I always say, why we want to work with nature is because nature is a true mirror, unbiased mirror that really reflects back, your truth that's living inside of you, and I can assume that is really, really powerful and transformational.
One of the most inspiring examples from my own perspective is a person that we know that has been uh, reconnecting with Lofoten Islands for many, many years regularly. And at some point of her life, she was diagnosed with cancer,
Stage 4, even.
stage 4, and it was pretty serious. And she started to work. She was been working on herself all her life, but she just took a decision to win with this. And now, after a few years, she's cancer free, still having to, do some procedures and stuff like that. But it's really giving you, this is like a life death situation where you can touch someone that is actually winning. And that's a really inspiring and powerful experience.
Yeah, I think nature is that power, when it comes to healing in such a way. Now I got a question for you guys, right? Because there's so many spiritual retreats happening in Bali, and that's why most people go. If it's not Bali, then Thailand, right? Why Lofoten Island is different from those places? I mean, besides the coldness, right, which most people dread, but what's the difference? What's the difference for you guys? I have my own opinions around that, but I want to hear what's it for you guys. I mean, this is why Like Bali is just next door for me. Like, why would I want to go all the way to the Arctic Norway? Because I have my own personal reasons, but I want to hear, what's yours.
Well, so there's a lot of inspiring places in the world where you can go for a retreat. What we love about this location is that it's so far, it's so remote. It's actually the advantage because subconsciously you already need to make an effort to, to take the decision to go to such a place. And this shows that you have a courage that, okay, this is a little bit more out of the comfort zone than just low friction accessible locations in the world. And there's already you show yourself that you're willing to invest in yourself in a way that most of the people are not willing to do. And this sets you apart. This shows you like, okay, I can actually do that. I can trust myself. And it's building this self-trust. It's building the courage, as Agata mentioned, to you know to do something. So this transformation starts actually from the moment people are going on board of the plane and heading towards north.
And I would also add maybe the outdoory elements in the program as well. They're very carefully picked and designed the way that it really gives people something extraordinary if you compare with Bali or other locations, right? So you are in the mountains, you are paddling in the fjords, and it's really so strong. For some of our participants of our retreats, it's really overwhelming sometimes. I mean, it's not scary at all, but because everything is in like safe environment, we take care of that. But still, it's so strong to experience this nature that we have here at the very, very close hold. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
so
definitely.
I would definitely also see it. This is the combination of
Yeah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and
mm,
I'll share my reasons. Right, first of all, even as a retreat leader in this space, it's so new as an experience for me. And so this is why it's personal for me to actually go there. So even if participants like a rites of passage is transformational for them, actually as a retreat leader, someone hosting the space, it's a new experience for me as well. Like I really have I don't know what to expect, to be honest, right? And that's the first thing, because I'm always looking for unknown new experiences to challenge my edge as a, as a practitioner, right? And that to me in itself is so fulfilling. And to be honest, I wanted to do this because I wanted to experience it for myself, what it feels like to have an experience there. That's first. That's really really personal to me. Second thing, I think in Lofoten Island you get the Northern Lights, and that is an element of nature that I don't think you can get it in other places, in most other
not many
places,
places.
Yeah,
unless you're
you need to be
in the north. Unless you're in the north, all right.
Mm.
exactly.
Right? Do you get Southern Lights? I don't even know if that exists.
Yes,
You do,
yes,
right? You do, right? Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
but basically my point is it's very remote, and we don't usually, like you say, it's a far distance. We don't usually get to the edge of the world. And I remember a place that you brought me. It's like the end of the road or something. In
Hmm.
all,
Hmm.
A is
Yes,
the name of the town is just one letter, guys.
yes.
It's
And
that
it's
that
actually the end of the national road E10, right? So
yeah.
it feels really like at the end of the world.
Yeah, it feels like at the end of the world. It's like, oh my God, like, whoa. So that's another, element that we're not gonna get somewhere else. And the third thing is that I love you guys, and as a team together, we created a very synergistic 7 days, 8 days experience where it's not just coming in to work on yourself, the inner work, but also challenging the leadership aspect of things, but also being out in nature and also having fun while creating a transformation from the inside out. So I really, really, really appreciate that. And being so close to nature, having some sense of, real danger, not as extreme danger if you're not doing any extreme sports, but feeling the forces of nature could really light up certain primal things inside of us. Oh wow, that's really transformational, because now that's real. When we have some form of real danger or exposure to that, then we stop thinking with fake dangers that we create in our head, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I recently got so inspired by Alex Honnold. He just climbed Taipei 101,
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he said something really profound. It's like the reason why we have neurosis and random fears that we create in our head is because we are too comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Yeah,
create our own stupid fears. Right?
exactly.
So I'm inspired to be there in a way that we can actually experience some level of, what I call safe danger, right?
Mm.
Danger, feeling of danger, but in a safe zone, which
Mm.
really shows us that what are we actually, like you say, what are the things in life truly matters, and what are the things truly scares us. And then that in itself is a priceless experience to invest in.
Mm.
Absolutely, and we can also we have witnessed several times people there have never been, for example, paddling kayak on the
I've never
Arctic
done it.
water, and there's getting into the kayak for the first time, and it's a little bouncy, and some wind and waves and sounds, and it's like you're taken out into back into the nature, and it might be scary a little bit, but at the same time very exciting, and that's the sweet spot to be.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. So, do we want to go through what we have created for people? Do we want to go through that?
Sure.
Yeah, we're gonna go through briefly. I'm gonna open up the website, and then we can maybe I can share screen, and then we just go through day by day briefly, just covering what we are covering each day, just to give people have a little sense of, like, what's it like being here. So, if you guys are interested and are curious about this experience, you guys can go to this website called lofotenplanet.com and head over to retreats, and you scroll down, you'll find me doing this motion over there, and basically clicked on that, and you get to have actually the whole itinerary over here. So this retreat is called the Prosperous Leader, right? And the intention here is to transform your leadership inside out, and then as a byproduct, right, income, impact, and inner peace is just what it is, as well as the healing that you're trying to create. So I'm going to scroll all the way down to what we are covering, and you guys can actually take your time to read whatever that's in here, because we have kind of like touch upon certain things, but there's more information in here about the cuisine, the accommodation that Erwin and Agata has prepared for us. But I really want to talk about the journey, so that we have some info that is here, right? On day one, we're gonna arrive in this space, right? And Erwin and Agata is gonna take us from the airport and come, and then and day one is basically an orientation where we land, get used to the space, get comfortable. And I wrote here the evening session way of the council, just to set standards, expectations on and intentions. How do we want to actually begin our journey together? Then on day two, we're gonna, touch upon some class in the morning, and this is the structure of each day. We go in the morning. There's some level of class that I'm teaching, and then in the afternoon we go out for our adventure. But I want to really focus on the nature experience, while we have Agata and Erwin here to share with us. Day by day, like what can we expect being outdoors, all right? So on day two, right, it says here majestic wonderlands. Do you guys want to elaborate a little bit more on this?
Yeah, well, it's a type of experience that is not about like really yeah, making like a big effort to reach the summit. It's more like the path. So that's why we call it for mindful also hike, so that you really focus on the moment. We also introduce people to, for example, barefoot walking and like to really ground. And so there are many elements of this hike that is not very usual, right?
Yes, the main goal is to be out in the nature and connect with the nature, um, mm, not the performance itself.
So
Not
we create like space for people to, have a seat by the waterfall and just meditate or just have some reflections. So we have a good time, and it's not about like reaching the summit here. So this experience is to introduce you actually to the mountains here, which are very special also if you compare with others in the world. So might feel like a bit steep and dangerous, but it's not. So it's just you get used to the feeling that you are surrounded by this
Yeah,
magnificent.
yeah. I think that's perfect because what I'm teaching in the morning is to really, excavate your past a little bit and come into a place of, acceptance. And I think being out in nature with all the reflection that we started in the morning can really, in the afternoon, can really feel like a coming home experience and, going home to nature, and that's really beautiful. Right, and as we move on to day three, after we accept, we start to have a new intention, and where we're going to cover something called personal philosophy, which is really about crafting your own living and breathing document and what it means to make choices, right? And over there in the afternoon, we have kayaking at the fjords, and we are paddling through Fjorden. Did I say that correct?
Yes.
Fjorden, okay, right? And you guys want to share a little bit about what we're doing in the afternoon?
So Reinafjord is one of the most spectacular
It's like
fjords.
number one, really, and this is the highlight of all almost activities offered here in the islands.
Yes, and paddling, so basically just going on the water, it's the next step of reconnecting with the nature. So we touch the mountains on the day two, and we touch the water on the day three, and by those experiences, people have a chance to to get familiar with the powerful nature. Agata is a perfect kayak guide, and she loves that. It's her element.
Mm.
So you're definitely gonna have a great experience. And it's also unpredictable. So just a little bit like in life, expect unexpected because in the mountains you're more grounded. It's earth is the element, but here it's the water and it's changing, and the wind and the currents. So it's really dynamic and exciting.
Do you guys get
But it's
wildlife in the water? Like seals and
a lot,
dolphins?
yeah. We actually have a lot of eagles here, like sea eagles here, so you can definitely spot some on our trip. And if we are lucky, we might actually encounter orcas. So they
Oh,
are here
nice.
almost all year round. So
Wow.
it's really an amazing experience. And I cannot promise that, but it happens really. And recently we've had some encounters that are really amazing. So
Yeah.
this is something to
Awesome.
looking forward to.
Great. Guys, so if you're hearing this and you want to, kayak with orcas, you got to set intention, right? Intention will actually pull them in and we
Yes.
have the attraction.
Always. Actually, that's what we did
You set an
sometimes, and we
intention, you're
really
going to see
spotted
it.
them.
Let's manifest orcas.
We just go
Yeah.
out kayaking and thinking, always setting intentional. Let's meet some whales, give them a high five.
Yeah, exactly, right? Cool, cool. Yeah, so like, when I'm looking at this, day two is about the past, day three is about the present, and day four, as we step into day four, as we can see, is visioning, right? It's the future, right? And we are really projecting, see what kind of life do we want to make and change, and we're gonna cover that in the morning. And to pair that up, we are gonna climb, hike to Rheinebringen, the mountain, and really enjoy this panoramic view, right? The reason why I want to do a mountain exercise for day four is because when you climb, as you think about your future, the vision of having a, what do you call it? A wide angle vision in nature helps to bring your brain to recognize different patterns that you may not have recognized before. So why don't you guys share a little bit about, why this mountain is so special?
It is because actually, and it actually suits your program as well for this day, because it is actually a path that is made of stairs, like made by Sherpas from Nepal. So
Oh,
it's a
wow.
very special project. Yeah, it's been they've done that like through I don't know 3, 4, 5 years even, I think, from the beginning when they started. And it's actually number one attraction in Norway now. So like really powerful, and to get on the summit, like using the stairs, also gives you like you get into a certain trance, right? You don't have to think so much about like where you put your feet, because it's not like the ordinary path you have in the mountains, but it's more like the stairs. So you can really focus on what's happening inside yourself, right? And the views, even by some cloudy weather, they are really mind blowing. That's how people describe it. So we are kind of spoiled because we've been living here for such many years, and for us it's just another mountain. But we know that people get really mind blown like by this experience when they get to the summit, because you can see like this, the whole fjord. Actually, we're gonna explore by kayaking the day before, and then we are standing there on the top of this mountain and just have a look down there, like on this pristine waters and on the fishing villages and this really steep amazing mountains around, and it really gives you a feeling on being on Mars. I don't know, like on a
Being
different
on
planet.
Mars.
So it's really very powerful. Yeah.
And
Powerful.
also the journey, the climb itself, when you're hiking up the stairs, you have a chance for the introspection. You're mainly focused on your own breath and your own pace. And on the bottom of the mountain before the hike, when people look up and they wonder, am I going to, to make it? And then I can promise you that it's safe enough to to go up and down. It's just your will that will drive you.
Mm.
And we've seen that this is giving people one of the biggest transformations, because once they get to the top and they go down, they're telling us like, I never thought I'm gonna make it, but now I feel like I'm questioning like what else is possible.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's so powerful, so beautiful. Yeah, and on day five, we're not trying to kill you guys, coming into this space. It's basically a day of rest, right? We get to do regenerative sauna, and we are going to the end of the road to awe, and we're gonna actually have a very good time on day five to just recalibrate, sink in what we have just experienced in the first 3 days, and only to move into day six, where we have designed a really beautiful ritual as a rites of passage called the Lofoten baptism in Bunes Beach. Yeah, I would love to actually hear a little bit about this as well, Erwin. I mean, don't give too much away, but let us
No.
know what's so
It's
special about
secret.
this thing, right? Yeah, this is our secret sauce. This day six is it's everything. But I want to
Okay,
hear a little
so
bit from you guys.
what we can tell you is that we are heading to the outer coast of Lofoten Islands, and outer coast is it's there is no civilization over there. It's remote in the national park. You cannot be more connected to nature than over there. It's like just 100%. And the journey itself, we have to get there somehow, so we use the the reed boat, like a zodiac, crossing the fjord, and then having a short hike over the edge to the outer coast. And this place is so magical that it creates a huge impact and transformation. And we also have the Lofoten baptism ritual that we
Created
that we
ourselves,
created
actually.
ourselves, and this is um, just to have a sort of a connection not only with the nature but also with the culture of Lofoten. But we don't want to tell you
No.
anything more at this stage. It's a little surprise, but it's also very fun.
Awesome. Yeah, it's gonna be a surprise to me as well. And really,
And
yeah, I'm super, super excited for this. I think this is the highlight of the entire trip. But as you guys can see in day one, day two, all the way to day six, the whole thing is specially curated, as stepping stones to ease you into it and then give you the experience of the transformational container. And even though this is like the highlight, but that every day is a highlight. So we move into day seven, where it's really important that we just don't, overextend our nervous system with too many things happening. So day 7, we have decided to create more of like a more integrative day where we spend time, where there's one-on-one support and also more conversations that we can have to unpack the beautiful transformation that we have experienced throughout the entire week. And then of course we end the day with a beautiful celebration dinner that again is a surprise from Agata and Erwin. I don't know what they're planning, but I assume it's going to be a beautiful feast, a beautiful experience to close the week. And then on day 8, right, we share a final breakfast together and we close, going back to, our day-to-day mundane life with a new perspective, a new identity. And you'll be surprised what unfolds, after a big trip like this.
Yes, we're really looking forward to have you guys, everybody that would like to join, you're really welcome. As you can see us, on the video, you can maybe have a feeling like you're really going to be in, taken care here and in a safe space.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Just some final note, just for those of you thinking about, this retreat. It's very interesting to see that actually a lot of people are starting to inquire me and Lofton and Agata and Erwin as well. And a lot of couples are actually coming. Right. I mean, Erwin and Agata is a couple. My partner Kelly is joining me in this retreat as well. And I know a few more couples who are already thinking about joining us. And it's kind of interesting that we are attracting this vibration. But even if you're not a couple, even if you're like a solo person and you just want to, this whole trip is really about finding the kind of self-love that you have perhaps forgotten, right? If you can't find it with that inside of you, you can find it in nature, and nature will be giving that to you always. And then, of course, how do you actually create that love between relationships and all around us? After all, life is really about relationships, starting with yourself.
Exactly.
Right. One FAQ thing that happens that I keep getting, right? How cold is it and what should they prepare?
Well, the retreat will take place at the end of September, right? So you can expect everything beside the snow. I would say so, because it's the temperatures can drop by 5 degrees even, right? Or it really depends on the year and on the time of the year when we are being outside. We need for sure like really good clothing, so it's really important to bring with you like different layers. And wool is very, very like my favorite or our favorite texture here. So if you can buy something also, like it would be nice if you have, then just take it with you. And well, it can be, as Edwin also mentioned, like windy. It can be sunny and calm, and we can spot northern lights. We can experience different things, but there are like no guarantees, of course, because it's nature.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very common at this time of the year that there's both wind and rain and sun and rainbow and
Everything, guys.
Rainbow,
everything at the
yes.
same time.
Actually, very, very good point. There are
So,
many rainbows at this time of the year, so it's really beautiful. Sometimes we get like 2 or 3 rainbows like at the same time. So it's really amazing to
so it's
see
like
them.
we're going to give you guys the list of equipment and clothing that it's really useful over here at this time of the year. But the main idea is to have something warm and something that is waterproof, like the outer layer.
And good boots.
So pants and jackets that are waterproof, good, comfortable hiking boots that you have already proven, tested somewhere. Walk around the table for half an hour at least to see if it's comfortable. And hat and gloves for the wind mainly.
So I would say like the temperatures back to this. I think they might be everything from like +5 to +15. So it's really difficult to predict because each year is different and the climate is also changing. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's good to have like different type of clothing with you.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, right? Here's what I have as a perspective, because this is a leadership retreat, right? No matter how prepared you are, there's no way that you can be absolutely prepared, right? And if this calls you, you take action and you trust that you're going to prepare everything on the way, because you can never really find clarity by thinking, planning, asking questions, because none of those things actually going to fulfill the fear that you have, because the fear has nothing to do with preparation. The fear has a lot to do with like you going into the unknown, right? So actually the class starts now. Like Erwin say, going somewhere far and remote. And if this is something that is calling you, you can always reach out to us to ask any questions, email Agata and Erwin to register even, right? And if this is what it is, then get yourself going and then prepare everything as you go and trust your own leadership skills as to navigate any uncertainty that comes away in this trip, right? I think the journey begins now.
Yeah, and I can just mention that I'm in charge of like all the practical things here before also. So if you feel for a conversation, for example, we have actually right after we have a Zoom call with two potential participants for this retreat. So if you feel for like scheduling a meeting with us, just feel free to do that. We are always here to help and to give you some advice and
Answer questions.
Yeah. Yeah. Erwin and Agata are super, super supportive and a really lovely human being. So if this is like, for you and you need more clarification, really reach out to them and, right, get on in.
So
All right.
One thing is for sure, it's a life-changing experience, once in a lifetime.
Yeah, it's been a lifetime. I don't know if I'm going to do this next year because I really don't know. All right. I haven't really experienced it, but yeah, for sure. I'm really, really honored and grateful to be able to be doing this.
Thank you, Kyron, and thank you for having us in your space as well, and thank
thank
you
you.
for giving the chance to share.
Of course. And
Thank you
if
so
there's any other retreat leaders out there, if you're not thinking about this retreat and you might want to be doing this retreat with Agatha and Erwin, right? You guys can also reach out to them and have a conversation and create a phenomenal program like I did and create something really amazing, because everybody deserves to experience this place and experience the transformation that you guys have created a really, really beautiful vision for everybody to do this. So thank you for that contribution to us retreat leaders as well. Okay, so this is where we are, and if all the information is down in the description below, right? This is the Emotional Mastery YouTube channel that I've created to shift, right, our human pain and suffering to our greatest potential. And thank you, Agatha and Erwin, for sharing your space, your knowledge, your wisdom, and your
Thank you so
Thank you
contribution
much.
so
in
much.
this process.
It was really a pleasure to be your guest.
Yeah, thank you so much.